Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswarai Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. First of all, I bow my head to lotus feet of my Gurudeva Sri Devendra Vijnaniji Maharaj, would pray for the upliftment in spiritual life of all the aspirants of this tradition. Yesterday, the discourses was going on the subject of electronic theory of creation, cosmology, and today I will do the discourse of Sankhya philosophy according the book of Devatma Shakti, Divine Power, written by Swami Vishnutirth Maharaj. Mr. Binay Verma from USA inspired me for these discourses from Devatma Shakti. Now, what is the Sankhya Yoga and what is the Sankhya philosophy? As per Devatma Shakti books, Swami Vishnutirth Maharaj wrote about the Sankhya philosophy. According to him, besides the materialistic view, there is a second school of thought which believes in separate existence of both life and the lifeless. First school is electronic theory of the creation, cosmology, and second is Sankhya philosophy. That he wrote second school of the thought, which believes in separate existence of both life and the lifeless. This is the view accepted by the average man. According to this view, life principle is an independent existence. It is invisible, eternal, indissoluble, and unchanging. But its reflection on the material plan is visible and looks changing at different phases of nature, shining forth at different plans of evolution. Life is therefore compared with the light, which is in fact by itself not visible to sight but reflects every object it falls upon, thereby making its own presence felt at the reflected surface, visible intensity of the reflection depending on the reflector. Material organisms reflecting life are called living beings, classified under the different heads of vegetable and animal life. Again, the reflection of life is on both planes, physical and psychic, i.e., pertaining to the mind. According to the Indian psychologist, and the psychic plane is also of the same substances as the physical one. only finer and subtler. Both being different strata of the same one cosmic energy. Consciousness, mind, intelligence, and perceptions are caused by the reflection of the life principles, chitta or chitta, usually translated into the English language as mind stuff, a product of the fundamental creative energy. The physical elements are also the products of the same energy, but the grosser than chitta. Therefore, to the Indian mind of the psychic and physical are not substantially different. To a Westerner, this would sound odd, but when we have once come to the conclusion that physical objects are the phenomena of some energy, it becomes easy to understand that psychic principles are also finer forms of the same energy, and as such, mind stuff is essentially as much of the same substances as ether, air, liquids, and solids. This is the view held by the Sankhya philosophy, one of the six schools of Indian thoughts. It declares that the first principle of which is the whole universe is the product exists in its original state of as abhyakta, i.e., in unmanifested form. Its first manifestation is called Mahat, the Great. This foremost manifestation may be explained as the cosmic mind stuff or intelligence. Mahat reflects the life principle which is also otherwise abhyakt. This reflection of the life appears as ahankar, i.e., the cosmic consciousness means ego. The cosmic mind stuff and the reflected consciousness from the cosmic mind. The static abhyakta is thus set in motion and, in other words, becomes dynamic. As motion implies relativity, inertia is the necessary reaction, and therefore Mahat automatically and simultaneously manifests two opposite forces. Inertia called tamoguna and activity called rajoguna. The first acts as the retarding force and the second as the acceleratory force. Acceleratory force. Life reflects on Mahat, imparts to its a third attribute of peace called Sattva-guna. As these three gunas come into play on the very first plan of the manifestation, they are regarded as inherent in nature and including both animate and inanimate ciphers. The physical forces are all governed predominantly by the inertia and motions. The next step in the process of the creation is therefore three-sided. Mind is the effects of Sattva-guna predominating Sattva mixed with the Rajoguna produce five senses of the perception, and Rajoguna produce the five organs of action. Rajoguna with the Tamoguna predominating gives rise to five states of matter, with ethereal gases of heat, liquids, and solids. Thus, the Sankhya philosophy enumerates in all 24 principles of Prakriti, excluding the life principle of called Purus. Note that when one guna predominates, the other two are rendered feeble. Now all the three functions simultaneously and jointly. Names of the 24 principles are given below in succession. Avyakta, Mahatar, Ahankar. Sattvic, Rasic, and Tamasic. Mind perceptions of hearing, touch, sight, taste, and smell faculties. Powers of speech, grasp, motion, sexuality, and exertions. 5. Tanmatras, which of sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell corresponding to the above named five faculties of the perceptions: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. Purus, the life principle, is separate, unaffected by the forces of Prakriti. असंगोयम आत्मा, ये सांख्य का सूत्र है, असंगोयम आत्मा. दिस इज द वर्सेस ऑफ सांख्य फिलॉसफी. ओम. अब आ गया थर्ड, वेदांता फिलॉसफी. कॉस्मोलॉजी, सांख्य फिलॉसफी, and third is Vedanta philosophy. Again, there is a third school of thought that disclaims the theory of matter. According to this school of thought, life is everything, the creator and the creation. Both are one without a second. Life is both the instrumental or efficient and the material cause of creation. Light reflection and the reflector are all one. Name given to this school is Vedanta. Meaning of term is end of knowledge. Again, there are many versions of this philosophy. More important of them are Vivek, Vivartavad. More important of them are Vivartavad of Shankaracharya and Parinamvad of Vallabhacharya and Visuddha Vedanta, Visuddha Advaita of Ramanujacharya. The first gives the prominence to the Adhyatm Bhav or the static aspects, and the others to the Bhut Bhav or the dynamic creative aspects. Birth is the word derived from the root of breath. The exists with the perfects. The exist with the perfects. We are used for especially and the means of special sort of existence. As the prefix also implies perversion, Vivartvad in that sense would mean theory of the perverted knowledge. But the Vedic language uses the term of samvarth. Instead, a derivative form of the same root with the prefix sam used in the sense of the adverb well. See Rigveda Mandal 10 Sukta 1 to 6 above refers to verse 4. कामस्तग्रे समवार्ताधि मनसो रेता प्रथम यदासीत और सतो बंधु स्मृति निरंबिंदन हृदय प्रतिसाम कबयो मनीषा. Kama mane desires. Tat, that Brahma. Agre in the beginning. Samvarta, manifested well. Adi, in relation to manas of mind. The absolute Brahma, that absolute Brahma, as desire in the beginning manifested well, himself in relation to creation of mind. Energy was the first that came into existence. The thoughtful seers with a wish to know within their hearts found out that it was the Asat, a companion for Sat. The word Parinam means change the form. According to Parinamvadins, creation is a manifested from the God. This school gives the prominence of the dynamic aspects. The term Parinam implies the dynamic aspects as predominating, whereas the terms Samvarth and Vivarth emphasize the static aspects. The verse of Rigveda just quoted above makes it clear that desire emanated from that Sat, the static Adhyatm Bhav. The wise seers regarded desires as Asat, a companion of Sat, universal mind with its power to create the followed desire. Now the fourth school is Sabya philosophy. Vedanta philosophy finished. Now Sabya philosophy. The Sabya philosophers trace the disruption of the absolute into these two aspects through a chain of 11 principles above Purus, raising the number of principles to 36. The absolute there Param Shiva is above desire. The desires I may become many for creation, as says Chandogya 6:2-3, is the Adhyatam Bhav, and his desire takes a number of steps for fulfillment. I is the first vibration, spand, as they call it. The inception of I, aham, implies as a second this idam. I is the Adhyatam Shiva Bhav, and this the Shakti, the dynamic or the creative aspects, but both are the first in unmanifested state. This stage was that of the whiteness called Niranjan. This is called by them the face of Satitva, face of Santyatita, मतलब transcending peace. Next follows the third span or vibration called Sada Shiva, with the predominance of the manifestation of Adhyatam Bhav, and next follows the spanda called Ishwar or the Lord of his power, Shakti. This is the fourth principle. At the fifth step, the Lord becomes cognizant of his Shakti, and hence the fifth vibration is the form of Suddha Vidya, pure knowledge. These three are included within the phase named Shanti, peace. Next flows involution of I within the fold of the Shakti and mixed knowledge ensure giving effect to the sixth principle of Maya, i.e., illusionary knowledge of limitations of the self within the bound of time, spaces, cognizance, order, or the laws of nature, and attachment, thus making the originally Adhyatam Bhav. Take the narrow outlook of an individuality, and it is called Purus. The seventh principle from the 6th to 12th, with Maya, time, Kala, faces, Vidya, cognizance, Niyati, order, Raga, attachment, and Purusa, an individualized soul, Purus, are included under the third phase of mixed knowledge called the Suddha Vidya. Suddha Asuddha Vidya. Suddha Asuddha Vidya, a mixture of pure and impure knowledge. The evolution of the Bhutbhav into the 24 principles of the Sankhya philosophy, already enumerated above, completes the list. 23 of them are put under the phase named the Pratishtha. At the last earth under the phase called Nibriti. This fact should not be overlooked that self as Adhyatma does not undergo any change through the involutionary courses of the creation, but simply identifies himself at every phase with its isolated webs. The Bhut Bhav undergoes changes, reflecting through the folds of involutions and unchanged I. The reader will now understand the symbology of oval shaped linga of Shiva, which is represents the unchanting Adhyatam Bhav, fixed and immovable at the center with the dynamic Bhut Bhav coiling round it, which as it were webs round the Bhut Bhav coiling round it, which is it were webs round him, coils of nature symbolized as serpentine coils of snake. But the rays of the life permeate every fold and radiate out, giving things the different shades of light to each faces. Shiva and Shakti of the Sabya philosophers are respectively the unmanifested Adhyatma and Bhut aspects of Gita or Sat and Asat of the Vedas. Sadasiva is the manifested but in embryo or the seed form with the two aspects as one grain, as Ishwar and Sudvidya, the two aspects become separate and distinct. Sadasiva. Sadasiva is therefore painted in the Puranas as the Ardhanarishwar, half male and half female. Through the Maya and its fivefold limitation of time, kala, vidya, niyati, and raga, the Adhyatm Bhav assumes an individualized position and appears in individual soul, whereas the Bhut Bhav becomes dead matter. According to Shankaracharya, the creative aspects is an illusionary and perverted look of the Avidya Bhav, Adhyatam Bhav, as a snake appears in a rope. But the Vallabha of Bhut Bhav is a reality. Involution of life is the what we call creation, is the summum bonum of the one life theory of creation. It is therefore necessary to have a clear understanding of the relative terms involution of evolutions. Every evolution presupposes a previous involution. When it is said that nature evolved the consciousness, it is so said that implied the assumption that the evolved consciousness was lying involved in nature. Involution is therefore the first half of the cycle and the evolution of the other half. When we wind up a watch, we in fact make the dynamic energy of our hands involved in its potential form as a coiled spring, and when the spring uncoils itself, the energy lying there potentially begins to be evolved out of the becomes kinetic. When fuel or any combustible substance burns, heat is evolved out and the fuel turns to ashes or the combustible substance disappears, showing that the fuel or the combustible substance was but the mass of heat accumulated in that form through some involutionary process, which is through combustion, has taken an involutionary courses. Therefore, evolution is the reverse transmutation of an effect into its cause. And every causes through every subsequent modification undergoes involution to take up the form of an effect. Nothing cannot create something. Sequences of the changes gives risk to a link of causes and effects, which are in the fact relatively so connected with one another in the chain of the differentiated forms. The primary causal substance flowing as it were in the stream of the causation, taking up the different forms at different stages of sequences. The superficial forms conceal under them the primary causal substance, which becomes involved in a variety of forms, whereas in the reverse order of change, all the effects from the beginning of disappear and merges into their immediate causes, evolving more and more. The true nature of primary causal substance, which goes on shining more and more gradually during the evolutionary courses as the upward half of the cycle near the topmost. The original causal substance is said to be then evolving to its original forms. ओम। इसी के साथ आज का प्रवचन देवात्म शक्ति पर समाप्त हुआ। यही दिव्य दृष्टि हमें दीजिए भगवान, हो कण कण में निस दिन तुम्हारे ही दर्शन। लखूं नित्य सर्वत्र मूर्ति तुम्हारी, सुनो जड़ जगत से ये कीर्ति तुम्हारी। यही दिव्य दृष्टि हमें दीजिए भगवान, हो कण कण में निस दिन तुम्हारे ही दर्शन। तेरी शुभ सत्ता बिना हे प्रभु मंगल मूल, पत्ता तक हिलता नहीं, खिलता नहीं है फूल। रोम रोम में तुम रमे, फिर क्या रहा बिछो, लेकिन तुम मिलते नहीं, एक ऐसा संयोग। ओम असतो मा सद्गमया, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम।